This will probably be a short. I've been watching a lot of videos talking about British comics. If you guys have been on my channel for any long time, you know probably my favorite British comic is Lucky Luke. Though that's more of a European comic than a British comic, but you know what I mean. Though I've read some Doctor Who comics as well. And my brother's favorite British comic is the Tintin series. But there's one comic from 2000 AD that I like more than most. And that is the Rogue Trooper, the original Rogue Trooper. Apparently there's a second series where Rogue Trooper is truly like a solo soldier. And they actually did do a crossover series where the new Rogue Trooper is the second Rogue Trooper. But I like the one where he has his crew with him. They're in his weapons. And he's, you know, not alone. He's not this lone warrior. He is, you know, he's got his crew and it's in black and white. So, yeah. This is my Rogue Trooper, the original Rogue Trooper. I'm not saying maybe at some point I'll look and pick up the new series too. And I have some other stuff with Rogue Trooper in it, but so I've got the Big Book, Volume 1 and Volume 2. Tales of New Earth. This is, as far as British comics go, this is probably about the most I can have. I have one collection of Judge Dredd, but yeah, Rogue Trooper is my guy. I have some individual reprints that are in color, but I'm not going to do those out right now. Maybe later on when I find those. I have a small book of comics as well, but we'll talk about that later. But yeah, this is probably my favorite British comic book character, the Rogue Trooper. And as you can see, it's got Dave Gibbons and Alan Moore. Two people who would go on to later be stalwarts of the comic scene and of Doctor Who in general. So yeah. In this one we have some other artists and writers. But yeah, at some point I will go ahead and read these. But yeah, we do a review of these collections later. But yes, like I said, I've been watching some stuff where people talking about Beano and Dandy, and at some point I want to read some of those. Maybe pick up some of the annuals and look into that. Maybe I'll do a video showing my annuals later. But yeah, in case you're wondering what British comics I read, like I said, it's usually like mainly my main thing is Lucky Luke, and my brother's main thing is Tintin. But and I've read some of the Doctor Who British comics, but my go-to is usually Rogue Trooper, the original. At some point I'll have to look into check out the modern one. Let me know if you guys have read any 2000 AD and who's your go-to story. Alright, comment, subscribe, hit that bell icon if you're new. Until next time, this is the American Samurai and Rogue Trooper saying keep fighting, and we'll see you next time right here on Bucky 749. Keep your feet on the ground and a nose in a book.